We have 2022 coming to a close, so today what we're going to do is check out the top features that are needed, maybe new features, but most of them are pretty consistent with what I've been talking about for a while to add into Pokemon Go. And please share this video as much as possible because we want to get this word out and make this popular so that we can potentially influence the game to the things that we do. I really hope that we can get some of these features, including some of the top most impactful ones that I will mention to you guys. But before we get into it, I want to make sure that we do go over some of the features that were added this year that are very helpful. So let's check those out right now. The number one feature that I like that this year came out with, which is going to be Campfire. Granted, Campfire does need some improvements, but from a base core fundamental thing, having the ability to go around the map and to be able to see gyms, what raids are coming, how many minutes are left on those raids, and then how to get to those gyms in the entire globe at any point in time is an extreme blessing in Pokemon Go. It's something that a lot of us that do like to raid have wished for and hoped for and finally got. And not only that, there is messaging in Campfire as well, so you can join communities, you can see different people, and also you guys can message your friends if you're going to be in the same area, or to see, if you guys are even close, or maybe you'll be anywhere close, to be able to do some lucky trades in Pokemon Go, which is great. The next feature is going to be the brand new, I don't know if you guys have seen it, hopefully you have, item view in the bag. If you guys are not familiar with this, let's check it out right now because I want to make sure you guys do know about this. So previously, this is what the item bag has looked like, right? It's been all like this. Seeing now we do have kind of differentiating gifts, trainer boosts, and so forth, other items. But now if you click in the top right, the left side of it, you can change it into this view, and this is how I hold all my items from here on out. It is so much easier to go through your bag and see like so much more. Look how many items we can see right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. If there was 2 other heroes, 5, 6, but I delete a lot of those. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, as opposed to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? This item view is incredible. Something I did not even think of, but we do need this, and it's so great to have this. The other thing that I talked about was having multiple special trades per day, and that has been implemented not on a daily basis, but it has been implemented on a seasonal basis, which I really enjoy, paired with the transfer of adding an additional candy and guaranteed XL candy for trading, which I think they've done a great job with that seasonal shifts to give us that. We also get sometimes a free raid pass, an additional special trade. Really, really cool benefits right there. We also have the gym countdown timers. What I mean by that is when you click into the gym, you can see the join button, and in the join button, if there's people in there, it'll say like 3 people, and then there will be a circle going around that looks like it's starting to count down. And what that means is how much time is left until that raid ends up starting, so you know what time it is when you're jumping into the raid battle that people are going in with. The other feature that has been added is the buddy feature to be able to help us get more XL candy. If you guys have not gotten all of your Pokemon to Mega level 3, or at least the typings, please check my video out up here. I will be coming out with a new up-to-date one very soon, as soon as we get the next Mega, which looks like it's coming in the month of January. And the postcard book is amazing, so we don't have to hold gifts anymore. Love that feature. Even though it's not super impactful with the game, it's really cool when you do travel abroad and you want to kind of remember different places and what dates you did go to those things. And then finally, there is now a new updated feature that if you guys didn't know, when you're going in to see your buddies, you can see how many hearts are necessary until it gets to best buddies. Alrighty, now we're going to get into what is needed in Pokemon Go in 2022 so desperately. And some of these top 5, 6, 7 items that I'm going to mention are going to be very, very impactful to the game, and some of the things that I would really like to see added in the most. And the number one thing is going to be being able to add on multiple premium items with a plus sign. As do we delete items with the plus and minus sign. I think it would be absolutely crucial to our gameplay that if you want to activate 6 lucky eggs, is all you have to do is click the lucky eggs, the screen pops up, and then you click how many do you want to add, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, boom, it's on. That is the number one feature, most easy implemented, in my opinion, feature to Pokemon Go that's going to help us be more efficient with our gameplay. And the next feature is going to be auto revive or auto heal all buttons, having them up in the top of the bag when you do click into revives or you do click into heal, to be able to auto revive all your Pokemon sitting in your bag, as opposed to going through and clicking one in each individually, which is extremely tedious when you've been doing a lot of raids and you have like 100 Pokemon in there that you have 250 revives. Man, it would be so easy and efficient to be able to do that. The next feature is going to be mass gift sending. I know that they are really pushing to integrate, adding stickers to the gifts, adding postcards, postcard books, pinning postcards, Vivillon into the game where we're doing, postcard pins and such. However, mass sending gifts for people that are really not into that feature, I think is very, very important to this game. I think it would make everything extremely important, especially when you're on a time crunch. It's getting down to the end of the day. You're like, oh man, I wonder how many people I need to send gifts to. to, you're like, oh, I don't know who can accept gifts. Having a mass gift sending feature where you just go down, click it, say, I want to start mass sending gifts, and then you're like, okay, I can send it to these 10 people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and boom, they are off. And then even if they want to make it more personal and they don't want to make it that impersonal, what they could do is after you select those 10 person, come to a next screen would be like, okay, which gift do you want to send to which person? You're like, oh, well, I can send this gift in, and you match all the gifts into that person, and you say, is that okay? And she said, yes, and they're off. It doesn't have to be individual. You don't have to click into the screens. It doesn't have to be so impersonal that you don't even know what gifts are going on. That would be the best thing for me at the same time. And then even if you want to have the pins next to it when you're lining up those gifts, they can be in there too to make it efficient. And the next thing that I think is extremely important, a feature that was only featured once in Com Day, which was getting increased XL candy, 4 times the likelihood of transferring Pokemon and getting XL candy from that Pokemon, which meant anything at about a level 20 and up, you're almost getting a 1-for-1 XL transfer candy. So that really helped out with a lot of these legendaries that are premium paid to get XL candies. So what my thought is that if you have a Pokemon Mega, that you get it all the way to a Mega level 3, or even maybe you put in a Mega level 4, you have the ability that once you have that Mega active, such as I have a Mega Swampert active, that is a ground and a water type Pokemon, which means when that Pokemon is at that max Mega level and it is active, I will be able to transfer Pokemon that line up with that typing, and then I'm able to get that 4 times likelihood of XL transfer candy. So then I can use the Mega system to another XL benefit, and we can really benefit from having all these Pokemon all the way to our top Mega levels at the same time. I think that would be a great way to integrate strategy beyond just having it as a Com Day. I mean, I think having it as a Com Day once every 6 months is very important as well, but having it here would really enable all of us to strategize. Oh, well, there's an event coming up, you know, it's a Com Day, it's a Magikarp, well, I'm gonna have Mega Gyarados, and oh, I have Kyogre saved up, so then I can transfer my Kyogres on this day when I'm doing it, or whatever that situation is for you. And I know they've been making a lot of raid changes. Some of the things that I think would be very beneficial here for a raid change is on top of the gym where you do see the 5-star with a thing, if there was a little bubble on top that said, hey, this raid is active with raiders in it, or maybe it changed colors from orange into like a blinking orange, or maybe it was red, or they had a number up there of how many trainers were in there, so you could at least know from a distance before you click into the raids. If it's raid hour, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know which raid to click in. You don't have to click in, click out, click in, click out. It's got something of that says boom, 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 this raid is active with raiders in here. I think that'd be very important. And then also a ready up button doesn't have to be in a public lobby, but for a private lobby, if I am the initiator and I am inviting people, and let's say I invited 5 people, all 5 people come in, I don't think there's a need for us to wait any longer, as I am the controller of this private lobby, that I can then click a ready up button that says, okay, we're ready for the raid. Even if it's like you can't do the ready up button until 90 seconds are left on the raid or something like that, but I think that's very important, especially when we're going on these multiple raid days where we might have a ton of people with us. Like, why do you have to slow down the game so much that we have to wait 2 minutes every single time, even if there's a full lobby? I don't think that's necessary at all. And the next thing that I think would really help in our game is raid banner notifications. Oftentimes, I will be cleaning out my bag, I will be cleaning out my items, I will be battling, and I won't know that I got a raid battle notification. I think it would be very effective if that notification could overlay everything that I'm doing in the game, or at least allow me to say I'm okay with overlaying it. Maybe it's not in GBL because obviously that would kind of, you know, mess up the game, but if I could do it when I'm in items and other things like that, I think that would be very efficient, because I would more than likely take time away from clearing out my bag to join a raid battle that I would like to join. And I know these features now are going to maybe get a little bit more abstract, but I still think that they could be very important in the game. The number one thing is a toggle switch for auto catching devices, such as the Pokemon Go Plus, the Pokeball Plus. So on the main screen and in the settings, you know, obviously you can go in there and you can click catch Pokemon or uncatch Pokemon, or just don't catch Pokemon, or you could turn on spin stops and stuff like that. So I think on the home screen, when you have an auto catcher device on, maybe it's just a little thing that says on the auto catcher, you could hold down on the auto catcher and it could pop up a little window that says the 2 things that you want to check, so that you don't have to go all the way into the settings, scroll all the way down and get there, because I feel like that's kind of an important settings when you are using these devices. And the next thing is going to be an offline management mode, because Pokemon Go, as of right now, you can only play Pokemon Go when you are GPS activated and other things like that. But it would be very efficient if I was on an airplane ride and I could update my bag and say, hey, you know, you're in airplane mode, whatever changes you make now, you will be able to update them once you hit Wi-Fi. So I'm like deleting all these Pokemon from my bag, and then I click, are you sure you want to do this? You click yes, and then I can close the game, and then once I reopen it in online setting, it would then make those changes, so I don't have to wait to be in a place that I can do this. And so when I'm on an airplane or when I'm in a subway or things like that where I do not have service, I would be able to still update Pokemon Go and not have to wait until I'm into that situation. And the next thing I think would be amazing is to have the worldwide lucky trades. Even if it's just once a month or once every 2 weeks, I think it would be awesome to help us really stay in tune. We'd be able to contact our campfire friends, schedule things like that, and then keep on going onwards and not have to wait, you know, maybe never or months or years to be able to do our lucky trades. And yes, I know that once a month is still not super efficient, but having to be able to do at least once a month, I think is still effective, or even if it's once a week, it would be very beneficial for all of us. And the next thing I think would be a super effective, which is mind-blowing, I think for me, that we don't have this, especially because shadow Pokemon are such a big part of the game now, is the ability to completely lock a Pokemon, whether that be a shadow or a non-shadow, because oftentimes, you know, we can lock a Pokemon if it's at Great League stats. And yes, obviously when it says, do you want to power this up, if you're going to evolve something that's over something, like, you know, it kind of gives you that notification that's like, hey, you're going to exceed this limit. But having the ability to just click a lock button, whether it's on the top of that Pokemon or you have to scroll down to the bottom, whatever that is, so that you cannot purify it by accident, you can't power it up, you can't unlock a second charge move, you just go all the way to the bottom, you click lock, it's locked. And then when you do click purify, if that Pokemon is locked, you can't touch it because it'll say this Pokemon is locked, and then you have to unlock it just to make sure you're insured with some of these good quality Pokemon that we have. And the next feature is going to be being able to convert rare candy into XL candy. Why do I think that's important? Because we basically pay for rare candy in the game, right? So we are virtually paying for rare candy, paying for XL candy. Rare candy for the most part comes from raid battles. Granted, it does come from GBL and other things like that, but a lot of the bulk of the rare candy is going to come from raiding. So since it is a premium resource, even if it is a 3-to-1 ratio where it's every 3 rare candies can get transferred into a rare XL candy, I think that would be very beneficial. But even at that standpoint, I still think that 2-to-1 would definitely be fair because of how premium that resource is, and be able to get things into XL candy, especially when we're paying for it. And the next feature is having more than 3 remote raid passes in the bag. I know that they have updated this and have allowed us to be able to purchase them even if our bag is full, so that is definitely a plus. But at the same time, being able to hold 10, I mean, I don't think 10 is really all that much, you know, just to be efficient for, like, you know, an hour or so when you are raiding on remotes. I don't think that that's too bad. And, you know, remote raids is part of Pokemon Go. It cannot go away. It's too impactful and it unites too many communities across the entire globe. So let's just acknowledge that for what it is and integrate that as a part of the game. And the next one is going to be adding in a shiny lore module that you're able to get and use once a month. And what is this shiny lore module? It means that it's going to increase the shiny rates coming from Pokemon featured in this lore module for 30 minutes or an hour. The reason why I think this would be an extremely beneficial part to the community is because we could gather with multiple different trainers from all around the area and host like our own comm day. How cool would that be? Is if you got 5 to 10 trainers and you have all these shiny lore modules and you were able to light up 10 stops in an area for an hour and kind of grind that area, and then the only Pokemon coming from those lore modules are Pokemon that have the ability to be shiny. And it doesn't even have to go like 1 in 10. It could be going 1 in 50, or just increasing the shiny odds of these Pokemon, but we can all community-wise drive our own little events. The next is going to be premium lore module additions into the game. As of right now, we do have 4 premium lore modules, and it would be absolutely amazing if we had something like a haunted lore module, which would feature poison, dark, and ghost type Pokemon, or a fairy type lore module, or a dragon lore module that would feature flying, dragon, and other things. I think adding in a couple more premium lore module to pull out different types of Pokemon would be very beneficial for us. I also think that having on occasion more regional switching would be very beneficial. Adding in the ability that when you click a regular TM, that you do not have to cycle through these TMs. I think it is extremely inefficient and unfun and lacking joy to be able to do this. Being able to click TM this Pokemon then says, well, which move would you like to select? So much more easy than going through and just being like, fast TM, doesn't get the move, fast TM, doesn't get the move, fast TM, doesn't get the move. You're like, dude, come on with this. It's like, you know, just get us there at this point. And next, adding in, once you hit level 50, or if you're already 50, you should get a second unlimited incubator where you're able to use this forever. Not something that is like, oh, here's a lucky egg and a couple things. It's like, no, dude, you earned 176 million XP in Pokemon Go, which is an absolute ton. You have put a lot of effort and grind and grit into this game. You deserve a second infinite incubator in this game for all of your effort. And then that would incentivize even more people to grind all the way to level 50, because how good would it be to have 2 infinite incubators? Next is going to be a portable Pokéstop that you could use for an hour or something like that you would be able to set down if you are in a really remote area that does not have Pokestops in it. And the next feature would be to search your friends list for the amount of time until you get to best friends, right? Or ultra friends, or if you're an ultra friend, search all my ultra friends, all my best friends. Like, the amount of days to get to the next rank up in the search term for your friends would be very, very important. Another thing is to be able to set your own goals in Pokemon Go. Like, for instance, I am hosting an excellent throw challenge, and in 1 hour, I was able to get 175 excellent throws. And this is how many I got, and I can share this with everybody so everybody can set their own, oh, I'm gonna try to compete with Billy. Let's go ahead and set an excellent throw challenge for 1 hour, boom, I start. Or maybe I could even feature that on my profile, or I could share it with people and other people could click my QR code and be featured in my challenge video. So then we can kind of have a little bit more incentive to get better at different things in Pokemon Go, as opposed to just playing for yourself or playing for your level, XP, or Stardust. Also, I think that if you're able to hit the smallest excellent throw on a Pokemon, that should be a guaranteed catch for that Pokemon, because that is precision, that is consistency, and that is accuracy, and I think that Pokemon trainers should definitely be rewarded for that. Another feature that I think would kind of be cute and cool, that when you do throw a Pokeball at somebody and it bounces back at that, let's say that they swap it with their tail and maybe it comes back, it would just slightly crack the screen for a little bit of time. I think that would kind of be cool. Having the ability to be able to hatch eggs once you are ready for them would be incredibly amazing. So let's say I've been walking these eggs, and then instead of them hatching automatically, a great thing would be, hey, you have eggs ready to hatch. So you can go into your bag and click hatch my eggs, and then I would be able to put on my star pieces. Or if we're not able to do that, another great feature would be like, hey, your eggs are about to hatch in 10 seconds. Would you like to add on a star piece? So you have a short window to be able to still capitalize on all the Stardust, especially for those 12-kilometer eggs. Next would be increasing the amount of berries to be able to fed to gym, or also being able to, same thing as we were to activate multiple premium items, that if you're feeding a berry to a gym, instead of having to feed every berry individually, like there's so much individuality in Pokemon Go, like I understand why people don't participate in a lot of different aspects of the game, because it's very time consuming to be able to sit there and click on 10 times for 10 different Pokemon, and then after that, you know, you're in this first gym, there's only 6 Pokemon, so you have to go out, you go into another gym, there's only 3 Pokemon, or you don't have another gym, so it's like there's so many activities going on that hinder trying to be able to do this stuff, that being able to go into a gym, being able to click a berry, and then click 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the plus, and then click feed, and it says, are you sure you want to feed this Pokemon 10 berries? You click yes, and then boom, it's got 10 berries. Would be so much more efficient than the way it is right now. And finally, adding in a tracker for the amount of trades you've done in a day, because there's been multiple times where, you know, I don't know how many trades I've done, and something will just sneak up on me. I'm like, oh, I forgot to do my special trade, and I accidentally did 100 trades for the day. So that's kind of a bummer. So knowing, have you done your special trade per day? Yes or no? Or have you done 65 trades out of 100 would be very efficient for us. And then finally, 2 honorable mentions. Number 1 is going to be showing the original name of your friends that you do add. So let's say that you added me, and my name was Billy Lutz at the time. However, I changed it over to the Trainer Club. It would be cool that if it said in their profile, when added, their original name was X, right? So like it was like Billy Lutz. And then I changed it over to the Trainer Club, so you would know that I have changed my name and this is what it once was, so you don't get confused. And then finally, it'd be really cool to put multiple Pokemon, such as your Raid Battle Party or other Pokemon like that you'd be able to go into AR mode and be able to set like, oh, I'm gonna put this Pokemon here, 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 and then I could take a picture of my battle team and then I could show it off. Or my GBL team, I could be like 1, 2, 3, boom, take that AR photo. They're in the middle of a gym ring, you know, in person, and they have the AR, they're all set up. I think that would be so cool in the game and kind of add a little bit more ability to that AR plus. So those are the features that I think are most important to Pokemon Go in 2023. If I missed any of them, check out the comments below and drop what you think would be very effective in the game. And then I'm going to be sharing this in Niantic, so please make sure to add in all those comments as well. Appreciate you guys being here as always. To all my likers, comments, subscribers, Patreon members, everybody takes their support, subscription, and to the next level. See you guys out in the next video. Peace. I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.